have you ever cooked chicken? You just know it should have been. It's just a little bit watery. You should have left. You know it needed 2 more minutes. You leave this in the oven, and this fight is big.
We don't want another Pacquiao and Mayweather situation.
Of course.
Because that was overcooked.
So, that was a decade.
You know when you put the chicken in for too long, it's burnt now.
This isn't Street Fighter.
No, come to my house.
Do you know why this is fascinating?
Come and fight me in my back garden.
I am Ryu. CBS Riakporhe.
100%.
We are close.
Chicken? The chicken is pinging now.
That's it.
Take it out.
That's it.
Take out the
Glaze
chicken
it.
Yeah.
It's ready.
It's ready.
It's ready.
This
fight is ready. You're gonna fight Specs, innit? It's an easier fight. I ain't
even got a train. Respectfully, Specs. I ain't even got a train.
Mouthpiece, the home of unfiltered boxing. Welcome back to Mouthpiece. I am Savage Dan.
I'm Miles Farron.
I am in the blue corner. Is it blue? I made it blue.
I'm in the red, and we won once again.
Yeah, the Blues lost to the Reds again.
Oh yeah.
Not even gonna talk about it. It's not worth talking about. Let's get. It's a difficult conversation for me. Let's get into another difficult conversation, or at least a hot topic. Let's talk purse bids. Breaking news, not breaking news, but it comes out yesterday that Matchroom have won the purse bid for Felix Cash and Tyler Denny.
Big fight.
It was close. I think it was something like 140. There was 10 grand in it. So it's good to know that both promoters value the fight at pretty much the same. We will, of course, be in Tyler Denny's corner. It's an away day. We love away days.
Listen, away days are big. They're big occasions. Sometimes it means more to win on away day.
It does. It does.
Shows how much of a champion you are.
Difficult in an away stadium. Who knows? I mean,
we don't know what the location.
We don't know when or where just yet. I guess I think Matchroom have 2 weeks or so in order to let people know what their plan is. But a very good fight nonetheless.
Yeah, middleweights.
But do you know what that goes to show? I know, cool, we didn't win the purse bid, but it goes to show that there's been a lot of negative press recently about boxer and purse bids and pulling out and blah, 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 blah. This one went through, lost, and we still have the fight.
That's the main thing.
And that's it. That's what purse bids are supposed to be. It's the right fight, I think, for both fighters. So at least everyone can agree on that much.
Yeah.
But there is another one being talked about. So I'm just going to touch on it. Just very, very, very quickly.
Bring it to the people.
Because again, it is boxer and Matchroom. And it's a touchy subject for some reason. But this is my podcast. This is our podcast.
I don't think it should be a touchy subject.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
I think it
comes with boxing.
That's it.
It's like any other sport, you talk about finances.
That's it. You try and make a deal, you can't make a deal. So it goes to purse bids. Now you have to work out what direction do you want to go in. Now, the fight I'm talking about is the fight that Eddie Hearn has been going on about.
Banging on about.
In every interview. Adam Azim and Dalton Smith. Yeah. Now, I like Dalton Smith.
Good fighter. Very good fighter.
I think it's a sick fight. I really do. I really think it's a good fight.
Percentages, what do you say? 60-40, 50-50?
I don't know. I'd have it as a 50-50.
Respectable.
It's such a good fight. But if you're asking me, now I am speaking only for me. Yes, this is on boxer channels, but I'm speaking for me personally. I don't think it's a fight that should happen now. That's just me and my personal opinion. Obviously, we will see. This will unfold over the next coming days.
Yeah.
But for me, I like that fight. I get it. We've got a European title on the line. Adam has won it. He has defended it. And let's be honest, he's had 10 or 11. He's a baby.
Yeah.
Dalton Smith.
He's pro game. Yeah.
Dalton Smith's further on in his career in terms of, I think he's had 17 fights or something like that.
A bit more experience.
And for Dalton Smith, this fight makes more sense, in my opinion, than it does for Adam Azim. Just purely based on the timing of it.
Can I play devil's advocate here now?
Go on.
You're saying you don't want to fight. You don't think it's right for Adam right now.
No, I just think, you know what it is? Have you ever cooked chicken and you just know it should have been? It's just a little bit watery. You should have left. You know it needed 2 more minutes. But you were too eager.
But you're still eating, though.
You eat it. Sometimes you get a runny belly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You don't want that.
It's kind of. I don't know why I went with that. It's a funny.
But as for the boxing fans, some people would say this is the problem with boxing.
Yeah.
Like, they don't make the fights when we want the fights.
All right, very interesting you say that, yeah? Because I agree with you, definitely, on the one hand. However, this isn't Kell Brook and Amir Khan, where both of them are complete household names and everyone is really aware of this fight and is gunning for it. I think you leave this in the oven and this fight is big, potentially for a world title. I know it's a European, but I think this is big.
But we don't want, and guys, don't kill me for this, I'm not putting them on that level. For example, we don't want another Pacquiao and Mayweather situation.
Of course.
Because that was overcooked.
But that was a decade.
You know when you put the chicken in for too long, it's burnt now? Yeah.
But that's easier to eat.
Burnt chicken?
No, I would rather the burnt chicken than the watery chicken. Because you could scrape off the
burntness. like toast.
That's it. Now, at least by that time, yes, they may have been past their peak.
Yeah.
But they were the biggest names in boxing by a mile. And everyone was still and they still grossed a ridiculous amount of money. So what I'm saying is, this is the kind of a fight that at the moment might not be a big money fight. This fight makes a lot more sense based on its timing for Dalton Smith than it does for Adam Azim, who's still, definitely. I'm not going to say he's a kid.
He's still young in his professional career.
He's young.
Yeah.
And he's young in his professional career. He's the fastest.
But with that being said, though,
to a European title, I like the fight. I think it's a great fight. I would stick it in the oven. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
But with that being said, I don't think Adam is going to be like, okay, I don't want to fight.
No, Adam will take that fight easy.
Yeah.
Adam said he wants world title. My thing is also this. Look at the rest of that division. We're talking 140.
Yes.
We're talking big, like as in
worldwide.
At the age Adam is, when you just zoom out and you look at the wider picture of what your career can be, I just don't think you rush this. I just don't think you need to take anything early. You're young.
Yeah, he is young. He's very young.
Age is on his side. Time's on his side. He's fought some very good fighters. And he's like, it's weird because he was knocking them all out and then he's had to learn a bit more on the job because he's had some tough tests since then. And he's come through them flying colours. But I think these last couple of fights have been so crucial to his development, more so than all the other ones that he's knocked out and he's looked special doing it. Ryland Charlton, he's looked great. But I've been more impressed with his ability to deal with like the actual tests. There are some styles
while he's fighting
that are made to perfection for him.
Yeah.
And he's dealt with those accordingly. But the ones that are slightly more difficult, he's dealt with them.
But he's had to figure it out.
He's had to figure it out. And I think it's worth quite a lot. Having said that, Dalton Smith's a top operator.
Yeah.
And he is class as well. And that is a sick fight. I just don't think it needs to happen now. That's all I'm going to say about it. A fight that does need to happen now.
Go on.
And next, CBS Riakporhe.
100%.
We are close. We're hearing to an announcement.
The chicken is pinging.
That's it.
Take it out.
That's it.
Take out the
glaze it.
Yeah.
It's ready.
It's ready.
It's ready.
This
fight is ready. CBS Riakporhe. There are whispers about where and when. I'm not gonna give you any whens, but I'm sure most people by now would realize that Bournemouth is gonna be in the running. The Vitality Stadium.
Crystal
some
Palace?
point in the summer.
Selhurst?
Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park. Difficult ground to go.
In all aspects.
That's it. It's a tough place to go and get a result.
Trust me.
I wonder if there's look. That's both of their, I guess, home venues.
Personally, I think CBS should have the say on that though.
Why?
Because he holds the belts.
It's interesting you say that. Yeah.
He holds the belts. If you want to come and dethrone me, Dan,
he holds the belt.
Come to my house.
Do you know why this is fascinating?
Come and fight me in my back garden and take my belts.
And it may well be that, but you have to remember, it's not just I'm coming. This isn't Street Fighter,
bro. I'm not saying it's Street Fighter. I'm just saying if I'm the champion, you got a bit more leverage.
If I've just suppose I am Ryu, and I've beaten Dalsim already somewhere else, neutral venue.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be forced to come and fight Dalsim in that bathroom next to the bath. That's his gaff. He knows how to fight there. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna consider my options.
Yeah, but if you've already beaten him there, you have what it takes.
He beat him. Was it at the O2?
Yeah, but even
where was it? He beat him in London.
Listen,
this is where I think it's interesting about who's the A side and who's the B side.
I think
because
it's 50. Okay,
it is. That's what I mean. So like, this is negotiating
51.
now.
I'd say 51 to CBS just because he has the belts. So if I don't think
But
Riakporhe
Riakporhe has the win.
Yes, yeah, I know.
So
but
this is like.
But I've got what you want.
Yeah, it's not that one.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I've got what you want. So if I've got a bit more leverage than you, and that's how it goes in boxing. You know that.
Yeah.
And if I want to fight in Bournemouth, in my another tough ground to go to, Vitality.
It's only a small stadium as well.
It's only 10,000.
11,000.
Yeah, 10, 11,000. But you can
get 15 by the time you've got the fans on the pitch.
Yeah, 100%. And
but yeah, you're right. You're right in a certain degree. Riakporhe will tell you you're wrong, and he might want it elsewhere. Anyway, we're saying
either way, I think you'll fight.
There could be somewhere else that comes in. Who knows? Maybe the O2. Who knows?
Maybe they should fight at Brighton then.
Maybe
in
and around Manchester. Yeah, who knows?
London,
one thing that we know is that the fight is happening.
Good fight.
Both
good fight.
have questioned.
It was mandatory, right?
No.
Wasn't it mandatory?
Yes.
Yeah, it was mandatory.
He was, but
Yeah.
it was. This fight has been agreed to a couple of times and then not happened.
But
now they both have said that they've both been ducking each other, which is interesting considering everyone seems to have always agreed. But you go and you see CBS talking, and he'll be like, "Finally, Richards, agreed to fight me after all this time." Then you go and see Riakporhe, and Riakporhe saying, "We've cornered the rat." So it's it's interesting.
Let me ask you a question, Dan. What do you consider as ducking? If me and you are gonna fight each other, which should happen one day. I'm just putting it out there. And I ask for 15.
Yeah.
And you say no, I'm not
15 what?
Just 15, just for example, 15 bags.
Pounds. Oh.
Bags. I'm worth more than 15 pounds.
Yeah.
Get punched for 15 pounds.
I think you get more than 15 bags, probably.
Just example,
yeah. All right,
then.
Cool.
15 bags. And then you say, nah, I don't I think you're worth 13. Is that you ducking me, saying that you think I'm worth 13?
Maybe
because I can say he ducked me. I want 15 bags.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with ducking. No one. I don't even think we ever really get a definitive answer on who ducked who.
Exactly.
People can price themselves out. Whether they're doing it to avoid the fight is one thing.
Okay.
So because then, just suppose I said, "Nah, I think you're worth 13," and then you said, "Okay," and I found another excuse to not fight you.
That's ducking.
Now it looks more like a ducking.
Yeah.
And also, do you know what it is? Options. Sometimes if you're getting 15 to fight me, and then or you're getting 15 to fight Specs.
Fighting Specs.
You're gonna fight Specs, innit? It's an easier fight.
I ain't even got to train. Respectfully, Specs. I ain't even got to train.
So yeah, sometimes that comes into it as well. The fact that the money doesn't necessarily represent the risk involved and the challenge. And then sometimes you've beaten enough Spexes, beat Poet. You've beaten everyone who you now need someone who you think is a challenge. Yeah. At that point, the money maybe means a little bit less, or maybe it means more. Who knows? I think it's just.
So it's a good thing that it's been activated.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
Is because there's no excuses. You have to fight. You have to defend your title. And now we've got a good fight.
How does the fight go?
I think it goes. I don't want to say, man. I'm gonna say. I personally think that Riakporhe wins again. Personally,
it's a tough one.
But CBS, like you said, CBS is tough, man. And
do you know what?
So durable.
Of everyone, I'm trying to think of because
the way he won his last
fight. Who stood
fight.
up to Riakporhe's power other than CBS?
Yeah. That's. I don't think there hasn't been any really.
Like he hits you, he lands clean, and you're in big trouble. He stops pretty. I haven't got the record on me.
Yeah.
But it's no secret he punches hard. He's just got natural born genetic gift that I don't know how he hits hard like that, but the only person that's had the chin to be able to take that and sustain it for 12 rounds was Chris Billam-Smith.
Yeah, CBS.
which is a telling. Is it a factor? Of course it's a factor, because Richard, whether he trains for 12 rounds or not, is going to be he knows usually he lands a good shot, this fight's over. Whereas he might not have that same confidence going into a fight with Chris Billam-Smith, because Chris Billam-Smith has been there for 36 minutes with him and taken his best shots already.
Yeah.
Albeit they're both different fighters now.
Yeah. But at the same time, Riakporhe could say, okay, you've taken my best shots, but I got the job done.
Yeah.
And now you've got
It
something.
was tight though. Like I remember, I remember being there and like,
close.
like I can't remember if
What
it
did you have
was
on
a
the
split.
night?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think it was that. It could have. I wouldn't have been angry at going either
way.
anyway. I think Riakporhe was more
Was that the atmosphere?
more aggressive.
Was that the atmosphere in the stadium? Everyone's like, ooh, we don't know. Because on TV.
I was backstage.
Okay. Because like we said in the arena and on TV, it's two different things.
Yeah.
Same, but that fight, it looked like it was 50-50.
It was. It looks like there was.
was
I
close.
would say the bigger moments in that fight belonged to Riakporhe.
And I think they probably scored it on that.
Yeah. But Chris is obviously like very well scored. He's like he's with the McGuigans. He keeps it. He's very, very good. Like
Great
a solid 8 or whatever it is across the board.
Yeah.
He can punch. He can take a punch. He's got a good engine. He can go again. He's brave with his shot selection and with how he's willing to like put his foot down
got a lot
and
of heart,
go
man.
after you. Loads of heart.
Because the way he came through his last fight as well, he was looking like he was losing that.
Exactly.
Losing that fight.
And
then he just pulled it out
do you know what the major thing here is as well? Chris has a very high knockout ratio as well. So I know we're going into this with the thought that okay, Chris Billam-Smith is not the superior boxer as such, but Riakporhe is the puncher.
Yeah.
But Chris can punch.
Yeah.
So this is why I say this is such a great fight. Once we work out where and when this is.
You've said that twice,
do you have a preference? Do you have a preference?
Well,
where do you want it to be? If you could pick.
I would love to see it in Bournemouth. I think the atmosphere down there is great. I've never been there, but I can feel it through the TV.
That's why you want to go there.
Yeah.
That's why you want to go
I've been
there.
Selhurst Park. I've played on Selhurst Park.
Have you?
Yeah, I've played there. I played on Selhurst Park. I've been there.
How'd you play?
Great.
Decent?
Yeah, I had a 7 out of 10.
Do you know what? We should do it at Stamford Bridge. Not
Hmm?
much football's being played there at the moment.
You should not do it at Stamford Bridge. No,
I'm done with this club. Honestly, I'm sad.
But yeah.
Very good. Very, very good fight. More to come. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so, we will have some
more information,
some news on that. It looks like we are shaping up for a big, big night of boxing on the 31st.
Looks like it is shaping
No.
up.
It looks shaped like it, but just watch. You know, like what we're talking about, the chicken. That chicken is. You know, like the chicken where you get
with this one, the chicken's
bang on. Like you just want to look at it.
But now you've got to look at the potatoes. With this one.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the thing. We've been talking a lot about chicken, but this one has all the sides,
all the trinkets
to go with it.
Yes.
Everything is perfect.
The main event, the undercard, is beautiful.
I did the head-to-head with Chris Congo and Florian Marku.
Yeah, I saw.
Not out yet, so I won't say much of what was said, but it was tense.
I've seen it.
How?
I've seen it. The guys in the group, they sent it to me already.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is.
I've got my links. I've got my links.
It is. It's a fight that's been waiting to happen for a long time. It is bad blood. They don't love each other, and they. Do you know what it is? Sometimes when you get fighters that have to spend quite a lot of time around each other, so you're at TalkSport, so you have to do that interview. Yeah. You've done it the week before, having interviews talking about each other. By the time you get to do a head-to-head with Dan, you're kind of done, right?
Yeah.
Not these two. We were there for ages. I thought it was gonna be they've got a real. Obviously, it's got a bit of a story behind it. It goes back quite some years, quite a few years.
What was the atmosphere in there? Like, I'm sorry, because I kind of lied.
It doesn't help.
I haven't seen it.
It doesn't help that I was in like a Masonic chamber. In a hotel. I'm being serious. Like it's it's actually a very scary room just to be in. So like that didn't help. And then obviously you've got the Albanian king who on the best of days is pretty scary.
Yeah.
You've got Chris there as well, who
just
just wouldn't take his eyes off Florian.
Yeah, he's
and
game.
it was just a tense one.
He's game. Chris is game, man. He's game.
Both feel like similar to the CBS Riakporhe. Both feel like they're both ducked each other.
Yeah.
But we get that fight, and you know, March 31st. I don't. Often,
this is good enough to be.
I don't often get
Getting
excited
spoiled with this one, man.
for fights. No, that's a lie. Do I get excited for fights?
I'm excited for this one.
Maybe the novelty's beginning to wear off with me in boxing. I just like a good fight, and I'm almost relieved when good fights are made and when we get to fight night. this fight I'm genuinely excited for. Not just Congo Marku. We're talking Ben Whittaker. Who knows what Ben Whittaker's going to do?
He might start breakdancing this time.
Spin
on his head.
I said something on Insta. I was like, you got to try it. I saw one guy. It was like in a slapstick comedy. And it was just like he jumped off the ropes to throw a punch. I'm just like, that's got to be your next move. Like, you got to try it. You're going to probably get penalised. The point taken off or something. But
I'll get it back.
I'll get
it back. Yeah, I'll get it back.
Obviously, top of the bill, Fraser Clark and Fabio Wardley. And it's just shaping up so nicely. We're 1 month out now, pretty much.
Do you know what I love? Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you know what's so funny about that? Yeah, is when you ask them a question. We asking them questions in separate rooms. Yeah. Like, give me 3 questions. Give me 3 things you like about this boxer.
Yeah.
Fraser just Woodley. Sorry, was like he just dissed him.
Yeah,
he dissed Fabio the whole time.
I said it on the pod. I was like,
he was just dissing him, and the other guy was showing him respect.
He's now behaving like the guy.
Yes, like
I'm that guy.
I'm the villain.
Yeah.
He's playing the villain role.
Not even a villain.
I think it's the villain role.
It's like the ivory tower. He's like I'm tried and tested. I used to be like this on FIFA, you know. So I know where he's at in his head, where it's just like, I am the greatest in the ends. Like, I'm the best here. So don't come to me with your lack of experience.
Yeah.
I think that's where he's at.
There's a lot of mind games being thrown around. A lot of mind games. I think the respect, they still, because at the beginning it was respectable.
Yeah.
But now that's starting to.
Yeah. I mean, it happens.
It happens.
You put someone
there's still respect
in a pram on a t-shirt. Yeah, I'm gonna lose a bit of respect as well. That's it. Like, it is what it is.
That's a big one, man. Make sure you get your tickets. March the 31st.
Interesting, because that was another fight. I guess not that one, but the Congo Marku and the CBS Riakporhe. We're talking a lot about A sides and, you know, who walks out first and second and blah 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 blah. What makes an A side?
I think, for me personally, I think the A side is someone who brings more fans and can put more seats.
Bums in seats.
Yeah. And more seats.
And
fill the seats.
Fill the seats.
Yeah. Having a belt obviously helps.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that's a
yeah, but you've given all of these things to one person.
I think that's the A side.
That is the familiar symptoms of an A side fighter.
Yeah.
Yes, but what about when it's closer? So, for example, who is the A side fighter in Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney? Okay, and this is where we are. I think we're here even there with like
Ryan Garcia. I think it's Ryan Garcia. He brings more to the sport of boxing. He
don't bring any belts.
He doesn't. Yeah, no.
He brings Instagram followers and he brings attention.
Yeah.
But is this what we're doing now?
Yeah, of course we're doing that. Of course, that's what happened. Look at Tank Davis. He hasn't had a belt in ages.
Yeah, but he's also never been beaten.
But
he's had a belt. He's had belts. Whatever.
Yeah, but sometimes you got boxers done that is just fan favorites, and Ryan Garcia
also
is that guy.
The guys who.
And if you're marketable, that's a big thing.
If you beat the A side, do you become the A side? So, for example, going into the Tank Garcia fight, Tank was the A side, by the way, because he had belts. He had. He's got no, but he's got. All right, cool. He had belts.
Yeah. But he's the superstar.
He is a superstar, and so was Ryan Garcia at the time, right?
Yeah,
in his own right.
Yeah.
But when the numbers are close, when they're close on Instagram, when like we're talking, like when your fans are there's just loads of stars even in the crowd.
Crawford and Spence, that's the best way to put it, because we didn't know who was the A or B side there, because that was very technical. Because they're both world class fighters. Crawford had 3 belts, you had 1. We're trying to make it undisputed. The Instagram numbers were near enough the same. So then so that was a big.
You go to the guy with when everything else is close, you go with what's the biggest win. It's like if you've got 3 belts and you've got 1.
I would have said Spence at that time, because he dethroned 3 champions. Yeah, and you've dethroned 1.
Yeah,
Crawford.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think that was easier. I just find it interesting with A sides and B sides. It's a little bit easier to like diagnose it at the top level when you'll get people with millions and millions of followers and belts, and you've got enough data. But
you're in this word, man. Data.
But when it's at a slightly lower level, like a Congo and a Marku, it's quite hard to work out
who's the A or B side.
Who is the A and the B side? A Riakporhe and a CBS.
I think with those
with that one, I would edge towards Chris Billam-Smith being the A side because of his pulling Bournemouth.
Yes.
And because he's got the world title.
Yeah.
So I think that one's a little bit clearer.
Do you know what it is? Sorry,
Rich.
You know what it is? I've kind of not nailed it, but I've put kind of some sense to this. Billam-Smith, it'll be easier for him to be a bit more of the A side than Chris, because it's harder for Chris to draw more fans because he's from London. Yeah. So when we're from London, we're tribalized. We like who we like. Yeah. We've got options. Yeah. Now that he's down in Bournemouth, there's not that much. Respectfully, there's fighters in Bournemouth, but he's the biggest thing to come out of Bournemouth right now. So the whole of Bournemouth is gonna get behind it. Yep. So it's a bit unfair. Yeah. But I could see. But the thing with A and B side, me personally, I just think it's egos.
It is.
It's just egos ultimately.
That's a big thing in boxing. Egos.
It's egos though. But I want to walk out first. My name needs to be before. It's egos, boys. Ultimately, you're good. I can't tell these guys how to fight. They're professional fighters, but you're gonna go in and have a scrap, and that's all you want to see. Yeah, you're right. I don't care who comes out first. I don't care who comes out last. I don't care if you bring out Savage Dan in the ring walk. I don't care if you bring out Eminem. Who's gonna win? Who's winning? Because
you know what? You've got a point.
That's what it comes down to. Because I've seen the guy come out there. I've seen the A side come out last, bring out the best rapper, have the best entrance, and lose. I've seen fireworks done on big stadiums, and it's looking like New Year's Eve, and they've lost, and they were the A side.
Yeah, but I guess if you don't behave like the A side when you are the A side, then what's the point in the A side?
Yeah, of course.
Go, man. Carry on with the fires and the fireworks.
Yeah, carry on. It sells
and
fights.
the rappers in the ring walks and stuff like that.
We need it.
But we need more big nights in boxing.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm hoping that we need more mega fights. We've got one coming up. Probably don't need to touch on it just yet. We'll tap on it next week. But we've got more announcements. We've got
plenty more announcements.
We've got fights coming. Not just boxer, by the way, boxing in general. I know this is a boxer podcast, but I want to reiterate that we want to cover everything in boxing.
Yeah, 100%. Because we're boxing fans, and it's for you guys, man. What do you want us to talk about?
What do you want to talk about? Anything else you want to talk about? Bud's a free agent now.
Yeah, he's leaving. Yeah,
you get him here.
You lot better get him on the phone.
Let's get Bud to box on.
That's cool. He's going up to 154 as well now. He's gone up. It's the cat's out the hat. He's bigger. He's fighting. He's still training now. So
you think?
Yeah. He's one of his trainers. He made it slip out the hat as well. And you can see he looks bigger. He's training. It's out now. So yeah, he's off CBS. Canelo, he's looking like he wants to leave CBS because he can't get this Charlo fight. So they're saying
PBC.
CBS, sorry, not CBS. PBC. I'm kind of done with Canelo now, to be fair. Honestly, I think this era.
It's just man. It's. I guess he's gonna go where.
But these guys are not destroying boxing, but Dan, you gotta make the best fights happen. Stop holding the belts.
Yeah,
I agree. Leave, man.
I agree. Yeah,
leave, man.
I think we look. The problem is when the best fight for boxing isn't necessarily the best fight for you. So there's just a conflict of interest all over the place. For us, I want the best fights, and I want them every week. I want to see the biggest fights, at least one a month.
At least.
I want one big fight a month.
At least. 100%.
I know everyone will be like, well, what happens then once all the fights are done and
there's not
go again? It's like a round robin. You just go again.
There's plenty of boxers. Man.
So I do want the big fights, but I understand the timing and the business element of it. Hence why I said before about maybe you don't time something. You don't get a big fight now, but it's a bigger fight later. That's the only time I don't want to see a big fight, when I think it's going to be bigger.
Just before we wrap up, the Taylor versus, what's his name again? Part 2.
Cameron?
The guy he lost, controversial.
Oh! Taylor Catterall. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Katie Taylor.
Who wins that fight? Just quickly. Just before we wrap up. Because that's heating up as well. The press crowd, they're heating up in that one.
Jack Carroll. In one word, that's what I'm saying. Okay. I'm not even going to focus. I'm not going to focus too much on it. Okay. We've got some time.
Yeah. All right.
You're going Taylor?
You'll see. Catterall's. It's collateral damage.
And that's it from us. Yeah. Look. We'll probably have a guest next week.
Yeah. Shout out to
we hopefully will have a big announcement as well.
Oh.
Shout out to you.
Big up Riley, man. It was a great guest.
Yeah. Very good guest.
Big up Riley, man.
But anyway, let us know
he's
who
on
wins.
March 31st as well.
He is on that with a very good fight. Mikel Lawal.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good fight.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to get Mikel in here, but I just know it's not really possible.
Mikel, man, come say your piece.
Come and sit with us.
Yeah, come sit down, man. Come down, bro.
Let's deliberate. We'll work out. You let us know, who do you want to sit here?
Respect.
Who do you want?
Realistically, because I don't want to see no Canelos.
I want to see Mayweather here as well. But who do you want here?
Tyson.
Also, let us know who wins. CBS Riakporhe, Vidal Riley against Mikel Lawal, Congo, Maru. Let us know who wins and how. This time, we've got enough time to do it. Nobody did it in the last time when we did the competition. Let us know who wins and how, and we will get you tickets to the next Boxer main event. Say goodbye, Mars.
Benjamin's boxer has pulled Fraser Clark out of the purse bid for his ordered British heavyweight title fight against Fabio Wardley.
Sickened, devastated, disappointed.
Is this fight going to
This
happen?
fight is still definitely going to happen.
I'm going home with my belts and Fraser's going to be sparked out on the floor.
Talk is cheap. I'm going to put you to sleep. Knocking him unconscious.
I think we'll be done and dusted in the first half of the fight.
It's here, it's now. All the talking's done.